Okay, now we're going to get into the thesis statement PowerPoint, which really goes into more detail. I think when you start your speeches, you should look at both of these and understand how to set this up so you take it step by step and know how you're getting to that fantastic thesis statement at the end. This has many examples, and you should look at them to make sure of what you're doing. So, expressing specific purposes in thesis statements. Here is an example of the introduction of your speech. Just an example. You're going to start to learn what these parts are. You start out with an attention getter. The first thing you have to do when you walk in to give a speech is to get your audience's attention. I call it an AG, the attention getter. And then the listener relevance and the speaker credibility. These are the first few things that you state to your audience. You grab their attention, you tell them why this speech is relevant to them, and then you talk about why you're the one who is credible enough, why you're the one who is qualified enough to give this speech. Not that you're the only one who can give this speech, but you are showing them that you have credibility. So here is how I would start if I am talking about eating disorders among women. I start out and I say, take a moment and think about 5 women in your life. This is my attention getter. I'm asking each of you to stop and think about something very specific. Now imagine one of them having an eating disorder. This information came from Paula Kruger's July 20th, 2007 article titled 1 in 5 Girls Display Eating Disorder Behavior, study found on the ABC News website. Okay, I have already said something to you about that 1 in 5 girls, 20% of females have an eating disorder. You may already know this from knowing a lot of females. You know that some of them may have an eating disorder. But you see, I gave credit to my source. Paula Kruger, July 20th, 2007. You don't always have to give the day. Just say from 2007. She wrote an article titled, and you do that. Okay? Then you start to talk about why this is important for them. Learning about common eating disorders is crucial because according to the same article, the number of teenage girls with eating disorders has doubled in the past 6 years. Wow, okay, not only is this important, and not only are 20% suffering with this eating disorder, but 6 years ago it used to be 10%, and now it's 20%. It's kind of shocking. And if you know that, then you may want to help people you know who have an eating disorder. So I gave you a little bit of credibility, a little bit, by stating that I know some facts about this. It would probably be better, if you're talking about your credibility, to tell the audience that you have an aunt with an eating disorder. Please don't give her name, or you once had a friend, or you had 2 friends who had an eating disorder and you saw them get progressively worse and that sort of thing. Okay, somehow you have to show them that you're to be trusted, that you know about this topic some way. Okay? So now that we're in the stage where we're making things up, I don't mind if you tell a little fib and say that you've known 3 people, 3 women who have had an eating disorder. Maybe you have had an eating disorder. You can say that or whatever. It doesn't have to be true. I'm just trying to help you get through a speech, so I'm allowing you to be creative. I think people are a little uncomfortable if you say that you are struggling with an eating disorder. I think it's a little easier. I'm sorry about that terrible phone. Um, in an election, you get a lot of telephone calls. So anyway, we have the the speaker credibility, which basically tells them, okay, you can listen to me, you can trust me. Then we get into the thesis. After we've done those three things, attention getter, listener relevance, why it's important to the people who are listening, and why you're credible in giving this speech. So today, we will take a closer look at three common eating disorders facing our nation: anorexia, bulimia, and obesity. There's your thesis statement. Simple as can be. It's a statement. It says what you're going to be doing. You're looking at eating disorders, and you've listed three. Those are your main points. All right? Now, a speech about school. Your specific purpose is to entertain my audience by talking about our favorite elementary school memories. And usually those things are pretty common. We all have similar elementary school memories. So your thesis statement is this: elementary school was a magical time filled with show and tell, marvelous lunches, and recess. And I think just about everybody can relate to that. I don't know if they're doing show and tell anymore these days, but ooh, that was a big one for us. And we had great lunches. Not everybody has great lunches, and recess. Wonderful. Okay, so you're going to be talking about this magical time that we all share. Absolutely, this relates to your audience. A speech about a parent. I know some of you are going to be introducing one of your parents in this speech of introduction. The specific purpose: to inspire my audience to live life to the full, like my mom. All right, so now you've set out for yourself this goal of being inspirational. Think about that. Think about that, because you need to say the things in a way that inspires other people. So this is the thesis statement. My mother taught me to find my own path in life through hard work, endurance, and optimism. All right, those are the three main points in your thesis. Now we go to a speech about U.S. veterans. This is a speech of commemoration, which is different. I haven't mentioned that yet. And your specific purpose is to commemorate America's veterans with my audience. The thesis statement: America's veterans have demonstrated remarkable courage, sacrifice, and determination all around the world. You have your three main points. You're going to talk about their courage, their sacrifice, and their determination. Perfectly fine thesis statement. Now, a speech about my term abroad. Your specific purpose is to entertain your audience with tales from my semester in Spain. Thesis statement: my study abroad experience was full of amazing and bizarre events, but I learned more about myself and how to deal with differences than I ever expected to. All right, this is a strangely worded thesis statement. I do not recommend this because it's awkwardly stated. I want your three main points to be together in the sentence, stated 1, 2, 3, like that. This study abroad experience, they're full of amazing and bizarre events. Okay, so it was amazing. Okay, and then you learned more about yourself. That's the second main point. And then you learned how to deal with differences between you and other people. All right, those are three main areas of your speech. But as I said, this is not as good as some of the others. So do not use this as your standard or your template. let's see, where are we on the time here? All right, I'm going to close this and continue in the next one.